Hola amigos, today we're going to learn about pronouns and two very special verbs. All right, so let's start with subject pronouns. Yo is a word that you'll use quite often. Yo means I. Tu means you. And you're going to use the word to mean you if you're talking to a friend or a sibling, someone informal. El means he. Ella means she. Remember, the double L is pronounced as a Y. And usted means you if you're talking to a teacher or someone older than you, someone that you're going to be formal with. So tu is you if it's informal. Usted is you if it's a formal situation. Nosotros means we. Vosotros is you, plural, if it's informal. And people don't really use vosotros very often. It's uncommon, so we're not going to really use vosotros after right now. Ustedes is you, plural, formal. And then ellos means they. Nosotras means we, if it's a group of girls. Vosotras, same thing, it means you, plural, if there's a group of girls. Ustedes doesn't change, it's ustedes, whether it's males or females. And ellas is they, again, if it's girls. So you'll notice in everything in Spanish, if we're talking about boys, it's going to end in an O. And if we're talking about girls, it's going to end in an A. And if it's a mixed group, boys and girls, we're going to default to the O. All right, so two very common verbs in Spanish are ser and estar. And these verbs actually mean the same thing. They mean to be. So that's when we're trying to say is, am, or are. But we're just going to use ser and estar for different scenarios. And if this sounds confusing, just keep listening, stick with me. When we get to some examples, it's going to make a lot more sense. All right, so now let's get to some examples. Just like in English, in Spanish you have to conjugate each verb based on the subject of the sentence. So for example, in English, if the verb is to be, we conjugate that verb and we say I am. I don't say I be. Well, sometimes I might say that, but in general, I conjugate the verb to be to say I am, you are, he is, etc. And here's how we're going to conjugate the verb ser in Spanish. So if the subject is yo, the verb conjugation is going to be soy. So we say yo soy, which means I am. If I want to say you are, it's going to be tú eres. If I want to say he is, she is, or you are in a formal situation, I'm going to say él es, or ella es, or usted es. And if I want to say we are, I'm going to say nosotros somos. If I want to say they are, it's ellos son or ellas son. And if it's you plural, I'm going to say ustedes son. All right, so hopefully that makes more sense. We're going to look at a couple more examples. So here are the scenarios where we're going to use the word ser. So we're going to use the word ser if we're talking about the date. So I might ask, ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Or what is today's date? And in this sentence, I'm going to use the verb ser. I'm going to conjugate it to es. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? What is today's date? The answer to that question, I'm also going to use the verb ser. I'm going to say, hoy es el 5 de mayo. Today is May 5th. All right, we're going to use the verb ser also when we're talking about occupation. So I might ask, ¿Cuál es tu profesión? What is your profession? The answer might be, yo soy profesor. So I'm still using the verb to be, but I have to conjugate it differently because the subject of the sentence is yo. Yo soy profesor. All right, and if it's a characteristic of a person or a thing, I'm also going to use the verb ser. I'm going to ask, ¿Cómo es él? What's he like? And then my answer, again, is going to have this verb, él es inteligente. He is intelligent. Time also uses ser. So we say, ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? And then the answer again has ser. Son las 3 en punto. It's 3 o'clock. Origin is also using the verb ser. So if you want to ask someone where they're from, and we learned this last week, so hopefully you remember that, you're going to ask, ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? And then if you're going to answer where you're from, conjugate it to soy. Soy de Nueva York. I'm from New York. And you'll notice this sentence doesn't have yo. It doesn't say, yo soy de Nueva York. And in Spanish, that's just a quirk of the language. You don't have to include the subject pronoun if it's clear who the subject is. You can say, yo soy de Nueva York, but you don't have to. You can just say, soy de Nueva York. The yo is optional. We know that you're talking about yourself because you conjugated ser to soy. All right, you're going to also use ser for relationships. So you can say, ¿Quién es ella? Who is she? And then you can answer, ella es mi amiga. She is my friend. All right. And you'll notice that there is an acronym for all these uses of ser, and it's doctor, D-O-C-T-O-R. All right, and if you forget this, you can always come back to this presentation. It's in your remastery package, as always, like any of these play posits. All these presentations are in the remastery package. So you can come back up and look at the conjugation table. You can look at the tables here. Whatever you need is in this package. All right, estar is the other verb that means to be in Spanish, but for estar, we're going to use it in different scenarios if we're talking about place, location, action, condition, or emotion. But before we get into those examples, let's talk about conjugations. So if we're going to conjugate estar, it's going to be yo estoy, I am. Tú estás, you are. Él, ella, or usted está, he, she is, or you are. Nosotros estamos, we are. Ellos, ellas, ustedes están, they, or you are. All right, so if we're talking about place, I might ask, ¿Dónde están? Where are they? And an answer might be, ellos están sentados. They are sitting. Also location, which is very similar to place, but location, think of it as geographical location, whereas place could be like where is some, like an object or a person, like in the room, like I'm looking for someone like right now. So location, ¿Dónde estás? Where are you? Yo estoy en la escuela. I'm at school. Also for action, ¿Qué está haciendo ella? What is she doing? Ella está estudiando. She is studying. Also for condition, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Yo estoy muy bien. I am very good. And emotions. ¿Cómo está él? How is he? Él está nervioso. He's nervous. All right, and then a little rhyme to remember when to use estar is for what you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. Okay, so now you can complete the pronouns and verbs worksheet and recording. And remember, feel free to come back to this presentation It's called Spanish Remastery Week 3 Presentation to refer to these tables to help you with these assignments.